And I often, when I'm talking to unbelievers, I often face them with this. You know, a man sits down and he puts a gun to his head, he pulls the trigger, he can be assured of only one thing. He has stopped the function of his brain cells. That bullet missed his soul and spirit. You don't kill souls and spirits with bullets. We know that physical things wear out, not souls and spirits. God is an eternal being. God is a spirit, Jesus said, John 4. And he made man in his image, not physical image, but he made man spiritually in his image with the capacity to know him and to love him. And that soul and spirit goes on forever. So the most important question that we can confront anyone with is, where will you, your soul, your spirit, the real you, spend eternity when your body is decaying in the grave? Now, you better find out. I like to challenge people. Look, it's not like going to a cafeteria and decide, well, I'll pick this or that. Wait a minute. You better know for sure. Don't launch out into eternity until you know for sure. The true story of Billy Graham, remember, he was driving his own car through a little town in the southeastern United States, and suddenly, this was many years ago, suddenly there's a red light and a siren behind him. He gets pulled over by a motorcycle officer, gives him a ticket for speeding. Well, in those little towns in the southeastern United States, they don't let you go back to New York and hope you'll send them a check. You go, they take you to the justice of the peace, and you pay cash on the barrelhead before you get out of town. So the motorcycle officer escorted Billy Graham to the justice of the peace. This was a very small town. The justice of the peace happened to be a barber. He was barbering a customer, so Billy Graham, the great evangelist, had to sit and wait. When the man finished with his customer, he took off his barber's apron, he opened a drawer, he pulled out a long black robe, he put it on, he pulled out a gavel and he pounded and he said, "The court will now come to order. What is the charge?" The motorcycle officer said, "Your Honor, this man was speeding. He was doing 35 in a 25-mile zone." Pounds with the gavel. "How does the defendant plead?" Billy Graham said, "Your Honor, truthfully," this actually happened, folks, "truthfully, I wasn't looking at the speedometer. If he says I was speeding, we have to take his word for it." He pounds with the gavel. He says, "I find the defendant guilty as charged." A long time ago, that would be $10, $1 for every mile. It'd be a lot more than that now. Billy Graham reaches in, he pulls out his wallet, starts to fumble for the money. The man is looking at him curiously. He says, "I've seen you somewhere on television." "You're Billy Graham. Oh, what an honor to have you here." And reaches out, they shake hands. It actually happened, folks. Just as I'm telling you, such a friendly conversation followed. Billy put his wallet away. The conversation seemed to have come to an end, and Billy turned to leave. He pounds with his gavel. He says, "That will be $10, $1 for every mile." He said, "I may just be a barber most of the time, but when I sit on this bench, I try to run an honest court. The ticket has been written out, and it has to be paid." Billy reaches for his wallet, but before he gets the money out, the man reaches into the barber's drawer, takes out $10, puts it in the court's drawer, and writes out a receipt for Billy Graham. That is exactly what Jesus Christ did for us. He's the judge. Billy could pay that fine. We can't pay the fine. The ticket has been written out on every person in the human race. All have sinned and come short. Sin is coming short of the glory of God. It's coming short of that standard of love, truth, justice, holiness, purity that we know in our conscience because we were made in His image, and we all know we've come short. And the ticket has been written out on every one of us, and we can't pay the debt. And only He could pay the debt. And God Himself became a man to pay the penalty that we deserve so that God could be just and forgive sinners because the debt was paid. And if you think you can get to heaven on any other basis, you're mistaken. And the Bible says you're mistaken. And God says you're mistaken. Well, but I mean, some people have lived such good lives. I mean, you mean somebody that lived a really good life, they didn't do anything really bad, and God isn't going to let... Listen, Jesus whipped in the garden. He pleaded with the Father, if there's any other way, don't make me go through this. The Father said, no, this is the only way. And then God let somebody in some other way? It's a slap in the face to Jesus. It is an insult to Jesus, and God has gone back on His word. And if I can't trust Him for this, I can't trust Him for anything else. Do you understand that? Neither is there salvation in any other. There's none other name under heaven given among men whereby we must be saved.